So Dr. Jagalowski at the James Cancer Center is also very impressive, and Dr. Pudavali stated, "I'm looking at your results here, and I don't see anywhere where there's lymphoma. I see atypical cells, so that could be just damage from uh, prior procedures and uh, chemotherapy effect on the cells." He said, "I see it in your CNS. I don't see cells, cancer cells, anywhere on your on your profile anywhere." Um, so he said, "I would not do any treatment until I know exactly what's going on in your brain." So, unfortunately, Dr. Gramis from Memorial Sloan Kettering was not as optimistic as Dr. Peerboom is at the clinic of the tumor board, but he also agreed that he didn't believe it was progression. And I've reached out to them a couple times looking for what did your tumor board think? What did you guys think of the MRI? And we got a call back, but they never directly stated what the tumor board thought. They told us that they presented to the tumor board, but never actually gave us the results. So that was disappointing and frustrating, and been really really dealing with some phlegm. Last night I could not sleep. I was not coughing, just irritation, a lot of phlegm, a lot of swallowing, a lot of so. My last MRI showed also some inflammation in my sinuses, and I've had postnasal drip for teens. And my brother and I would share a room, and I would be swallowing like that all the time. And it's still with me today. So I don't know where this postnasal drip's coming from. Obviously, it's coming from my sinuses, but I don't know why. And I've never really had allergies to speak of. So I threw out a poll question to my CNS lymphoma group that's worldwide. There's Facebook, there's only 356 members. And I'm trying to find some kind of commonality, some kind of something. So I listed my list of things that I thought might be significant in this disease. First and foremost, I guarantee it has to do with the toxic landfill that I grew up next to. It was, if you've ever seen the movie Aaron Brockovich, that's basically like where I grew up. And I was just thinking about this the other day. It was, I was doomed. There's no, I mean, environmentally, we had a truly toxic landfill. The EPA completely turned a blind eye. And the more I think about this, the more I talk about it, the more pissed off I get. We lived in a small little village just south of Cleveland, Ohio, about 15 minutes south of Cleveland. And if you think about Cleveland 50 years ago, it was an industrial hub. And we were down in the valley. And the landfill was above us. We had well water, we had fruit trees, we had gardens, and not only did we bathe in it, drink it, grow our food in it in the summertime, but also, so if you're familiar with thermals, everybody knows that heat rises and cool falls. Well, when the temperature would drop in the summer, that nasty smell, acidy, acidy smell would roll down the hill, and you would smell this. So at the nanoparticle level, we were all breathing this shit in. And it just, I don't know why it took so long to dawn on me. They had humongous high tension power lines that ran right over the top of us. Well, those aren't good for you. You could hear them buzzing at night. You can still hear them today buzzing. And there were 55-gallon drums up there, knocked over, rusted out. And as a kid, I can remember distinctly hearing trucks dumping 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning up there, because we didn't have shit. We were lucky if we had screens in our window. We certainly didn't have air conditioning. And I could hear them clear as a bell. Trucks going in there at all hours of the night. Now, who dumps at those hours? Total bullshit. So Scene Magazine did an article on it in January 2007. It's a 4-page article called A Tomb with a View. Jared Klaus was the journalist, the author, the reporter, and his girlfriend, the story I got from him was his girlfriend worked at the PetSmart or Pet Supply place up there at Cityview, is what this shopping center was called, which was supposed to be this incredible strip center mall for they had Dick's Sporting Goods, they had a Walmart. Of all things that's still up there, ironically, is the Giant Eagle grocery store. They're serving food out of this. They had these humongous plastic containers. I'm talking probably, I don't know, 500 gallons, catching all this nasty fluid off the runoff off the hill. You go on the back side of the buildings, and there's settling a foot. They had all the so then the brain trusts that were in charge of this. There's methane there constantly venting all the time. They vented methane gas pipes through the buildings up into the through the roof of the buildings to vent out it. They had methane alarms that would go off left and right. And this Jared Klaus's girlfriend asked him, "Hey, Mr. Investigative Reporter, why don't you check out and see what's going on in this area? A lot of my coworkers are leaving sick here. I'm getting headaches." So he looks at the back of the businesses and looks over the hill, and there's 2 streets, Murray Road and Fosdick. 2 little streets on a little, maybe 80 houses, and that's where I grew up. And everybody I grew up with, parents and now kids that I grew up with, all have some kind of fucked up disease. Not typical. Like the disease I've got, this very rare form of brain cancer called primary central nervous system lymphoma. It's so rare, it's less than 3% of all central nervous system cancers. And it generally affects people with AIDS, HIV, have had an organ transplant, or elderly that will make them all immune compromised. I have none of this. So for me to get this disease is very rare. This disease generally starts in the eyes and moves to the brain, where I'm opposite from the brain to the eyes. I'm blind, completely blind in my left eye. It is what they call NLP, stands for no light perception. It's black. You can shine the brightest light you want in my left eye, and I don't see anything, which is very frustrating because I was an above average athlete. I was an above average hand-eye coordination, and when I was in the police academy, I took second in the Top Gun shooting competition, and I lost out to a kid whose dad was a sniper in Vietnam. And he comes up to me, he's like, "Dude, I've been shooting since I came out of the womb." He's like, "That's all I do." So I was proud of that I took second to him. And then and then in the driving course, we had this piece of shit old Ford Crown Victoria that can't get out of his own shadow, and I lost this other kid, Rob from Bainbridge. He was 21. I was 28. I was 28 when I was in the academy, and that was 1998. Shit, that's 21 years ago. Holy shit. So yeah, I'd be starting my 21st year as a police officer. Um, that's crazy. And what else is crazy is this whole Ohio Police and Fire Pension Fund is absolutely ridiculous. How they just don't they screwed the Ohio Police and Fire Pension and Ohio Police and Fire retirees pre 65, which I fall under. And this John Gallagher, Liz and I went to every meeting, and we took. I record everything. I audio record everything, and I record it all. And I've got them on there stating, I mean, I'm talking everything. Every phone call, every time I'm talking with somebody, I hit my record button. Every doctor's appointment, every customer service phone call, I'll put the speakerphone on the house phone and record because it's twofold. Number one, my short-term memory is really, really poor. And number two, I want actual verbatim quotes from what people tell me. So if they say this didn't happen, I could say bullshit. So it's actually helped out quite a bit. But nonetheless, we went to every one of these meetings, and time again, we were told by John Gallagher, you will be able to, I mean, it was Obama all over again. You'll be able to keep your same doctors, everything's going to be the same. Well, that's not true at all. And I actually reached out to, so the three villages that I grew up in, Valley View, Brooklyn Heights, where I live now, and Cog Heights, all went to Cog Heights school systems. There's three small villages. I mean, tiny. So for a city to be a city, it has to have over 5,000 people. I think Valley View, Brooklyn Heights, and Cog Heights, maybe Valley View's got the most because they've got a huge development up there called Strathmore. So Valley View's got the most residents at about maybe 2,000, 3,000, 2,500, and then Brooklyn Heights and then Cog Heights. So because of the school system, a lot of the police and fire departments work together and back each other up on calls and stuff like that. So Cog Heights actually dispatched for Brooklyn Heights, Valley View, and Cog Heights. And the local SWAT team is made up of those three villages, Valley View, Brooklyn Heights, Cog Heights, Independence, where was my second place of employment, Brecksville, Broadview Heights, maybe Seven Hills. Anyways, it's called SEB, Southeast Bureau. And Mark Hine is now a retired Cog Heights cop, and he was one of their snipers. And we had a call in Valley View of I don't know, somebody took a hostage, and they were in some elevator in this building at Hub Park, this industrial parkway. So I take my shotgun out, and I'm set up, and because I hunt, and I want to get the proper angle, and I mean this dude's toast if he ever comes out. So I'm sitting there, I'm in my prone position, and then all of a sudden Mark Hine comes over. He's like, "Hey man, I really like your positioning here, but I've got the rifle, and I can reach out and really touch somebody with this. Can you mind if I take your spot?" I'm like, "By all means, man." So anyways, his wife has been very, very vocal and very active on this Ohio Police and Fire Pension Facebook group where these, I mean, the Jesus Christ, this memory sucks. and I'm at a loss for words right now. And so Liz, just this morning, last night I read. I went to bed late last night. I mean after 12:30, which I don't like to go to bed that late. But I can't. I was up because I got the results back from my baseline uh, neuropsych exam, and I was pretty pleased on it. And I don't know why I'm so hard on myself. I went through with a green highlighter and a red highlighter, and I highlighted in green all the positive stuff where I was above average, superior above, and and then the ones that were below average, I hit with a red pen, a red highlighter. I read through it, and I felt pretty good about it. It was positive. I was in a lot of the above average and superior um, categories, which is great. Is this thing on? Seriously?